Hello, Krzysztof. Nice to see you today. Thank you for joining me on our live. It's every second week where I'm inviting colleagues that do similar job what I do, basically. So thank you for accepting my invitation. If you don't mind, I will just share on my Facebook and few groups this link, so maybe you will get some potential viewer because it's no one here at the moment. So give me some time, please, and I will share this with my friends.
No problem, no issues. Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much, Kasia, for the invitation. We are waiting for the first observers and the first community who will join and listen. What will speak about the trust?
Yes, I think we've got first viewer. I will just have a look. Is any chance you are live? Okay. Okay, so there is no comments yet. I cannot see them, basically. Do we got any comments?
I can't see as well.
All destination. Okay, so at the moment I cannot see. Maybe it's slight delay, but I just need a few moments, like I said, to share this with my friends. Where it is.
Okay, so let's wait for a couple of minutes, for a while, and we can start.
Of course. How is the, where you are, Krzysztof, if you don't mind sharing this information, maybe,
I am on the seaside, Polish seaside, the north of Poland, on the Baltic Sea.
Wow.
It's quite cold, winter outside. So looking for the spring, but it seems that it will take some time still to see the sun. So it's cold, it's white, and we are waiting for the spring.
Oh, I've seen that in UK it's really nice weather. So, who knows? It's usually in England, and then a few days later the same as, weather is in Poland. So hopefully you will get some nice weather in Poland too. Okay, I did share this in few places. I can see Eva is with us. Hi, Eva. Thank you for joining us. I invited Eva 2 weeks ago. She lives in Oxford, and she's like a leader in the big community there. And it's really interesting person to know. So I would be good if you could connect with Eva too. Just 1 second. It's more difficult than me.
Good evening, Eva. Good to see you. Tell us on the comment if you can see and hear us well before we start and launch the live officially.
I think she just say okay, so it means that maybe she can hear us. I just gonna post in one more place, and we can start to do not keep you any longer. The weird thing is that I cannot search for some reason. Okay. Now I found. Okay, and I will post this here. Fine. Okay, I did post in a few places, so hopefully. I'm not sure who else is with us. Is there any chance you can say hello and tell us where you are at the moment? I know that Eva is in Oxford. I'm in Poland too, and I'm gonna be back soon in UK. I cannot wait to see all my friends and then family there. So Krzysztof is from Baltic Sea. Yes, it's very close to Gdańsk or Gdynia. Did you say? Sorry.
On the north part of Gdynia, close to the seaside, close to the Baltic Sea. Still winter, waiting for spring.
Okay, yes, of course. Okay, so I think we've it's 5 minutes after we started. So today our topic, I will maybe put this here. Let me just find this. Is there? Okay, so today's topic is we're gonna talk about trust as a value in the organization, boosting company income and work comfort. Krzysztof, can you tell me, what do you think trust is for you? How do you understand trust?
That's a very broad question. and I was looking for the definition before we've started our live. And definition is on the very actually on the very conceptual way. But I will try to do something and explain from my words and the simple words. So we trust people who has something to say. We trust people who know what they do. We trust people who keep secrets. But at the end, we trust people who take care about us. So we see that when we speak about trust, we take into consideration emotions, we take into consideration words, we also take into consideration acting and doing. But at the end, there is something which we cannot buy. It's actually taking care about the second person. And in the relationship, you might have a lot of people who are trustworthy, who deliver what they promise, who keep secrets, but we still do not trust them. And this is one secret which is part of the trust, which is orientation on ourselves. So this is how I understand trust.
It's very, impressive explanation. I really well done. I agree with you. I totally agree with you what you just said. For me, trust, I think, like you just said, it's very difficult to describe because it's more emotion than just one. And it's basically, for me, you cannot say that you trust someone. You can say that you trust someone, but it's trust is not made by money or anything like that. It's made by acts and what you do. So basically, whatever you do for living or for the people you work with, they will see how you work, what you are doing, and then they will decide if they will trust you or not. So it's really good explanation. Thank you, Krzysztof. So if we're going to talk about organization trust, this is something that I put on the Facebook on my post, that we're going to put like 4 different points, and we're going to get them a bit wider for our audience. So first one on the list, it's actually talking about what is organization trust. Can you share with us your experience? I know that you work with many teams in the past and now, so I know that you are a good person to ask this question.
I would say that actually trust does not change, whether we are speaking about relationship between human and human and between organization or the company and the human. At the end, the organization is the representative of the people. But in this case, there is one difference, and the difference is actually intimacy. So when we have a relationship on the face-to-face basis between 2 people, the intimacy which we can create is very close. When we speak about organization, this intimacy is far away from us, which means that at the end we are actually trusting the group of people, the concept, which is the organization. And when the concept is more authentic, the more tendency we have to trust to this concept, which we call organization. Second point is the trust is also measured when we are clients of the organization. So the way how the company is delivering service, how the company is delivering customer experience, the more we trust this concept, this organization. When we speak about the employees, this is another concept, because employees are actually staying with us, with the company, for completely different reasons than the clients. First of all, there is some agreement between the organization and the employee, and the trust is only when the 2 parties are fulfilling this agreement. This is what we can speak as the first condition of trust, based on my experience. And the second is, again, when we have an employee and we have this concept which we call organization, how to create the trust to this concept. The more we have the distance between leadership and the employees, the lower the trust is, the more difficult it is to build the trust. This is how I understand it.
Yes, it's, I really love your way of, explaining. You are a great person to explain all, what we're talking today about. What I just would like to add about the organization trust, it's basically, for me, it's also a confidence that the place that you work is truthworthy, basically, and you can I never know how to say this word, so you can relay on people that are working there. So basically it's a whole picture how you see the organization. So it's not just, I don't think that people will go and work somewhere that they did not check first, what is the mission, what is the vision, who works there, who they will work with. So they do some kind of research. And if this is making like a nice one big picture, they're more happy to join the company. What do you think?
Good question. Good question. I was wondering about it, especially when we now live in the virtual world. So how to check this? And I was actually interested because trust is something which comes from the past,
Yes.
but it's also the measurement of the future. This is how I understand that. So if the past is not good, it's not reliable, then it's more difficult to build the future when it comes to the trust. So mission, values, opinions, references about the company in the internet, what the clients are saying, what employees are saying, this is all which is the experience from the past. But when we are joining the company, we are not yet in this company. We have not yet experienced that. We're just relying on the sentences of the opinions of the others. So we trust that it will be in the future what people said in the past. That's why it's very difficult to keep this trust and build this trust, because it's all based on the past experience.
On the past experience. And it's also what is people sometimes think that if you gain trust once, it will be forever, but it's not as simple as it looks like, because you need to work on it. I know that you said that it's mainly what you did in the past, it will give you benefits in future, and basically people will trust you. But I know from my experience that sometimes managers, leaders, and employees, they can break the trust by doing something, not necessarily, because they knew that they will, make something, because I purely believe that people sometimes doing things by mistakes, or they don't know what is the consequences. So we will talk later about how to rebuild the trust when we're going to go to the next point, because now we are talking about what is organization trust and why it's important. So basically we are now covering 2 points from our today lives. What else I would like to add is also important, with regards to company or trust, is a culture, company culture. So you need to be also by any sort of conduct or any priorities and whatever, who you're working with, you should be always looking at the company values and culture, basically. And what else for me, it's also going under this, that ethics and be fearless, that company won't hurt you, basically, or people you work with. So this also could be under the company trust. So Krzysztof, if we can jump to to the next question, why it's important to build this trust? What will gain the company by the trust, if there is a trust within the company?
Engagement of the employees.
This is the best one, engagement. And by engaging people, basically you will get more profit, and this will give you more income, basically. That's why the topic today, the subject is how to boost company income. So by engaging employees. So this is something that will give you the relation.
Absolutely. Second point is you gain a reputation. So you gain predictability on the values level. So people will start to trust you because they can predict who you are, not what you do, but who you are. And we might have different circumstances. People might go, or companies might go through the difficult times, and you might actually react on the different levels. You might actually communicate to the employees difficult things. But when people trust you who you are, they believe you and will stay with you no matter if it's actually sun is shining or the rain is raining. So this is very important, that the trust, what company gain is reputation and predictability. And then the outcome is more revenue, more profit, more loyal employees, and more loyal clients.
So what else I would, from my experience, I remember I used to work in the company that not necessarily pay the best, pay long time ago, but because people really trust the owners, they trust the mission and the vision and the whole picture of the company, people stay. And it was really, people could basically offer you twice more, and you did not want to go because it was such a good environment and people that they're working, they've been trusting each other. So this is really, really, unique for me, that even money, they will give you more money somewhere else, people won't go. So the factor, it's not necessarily the money, sometimes it's just the trust. So it's really, really important, guys, to keep the trust in place. And if anything happen, start, to rebuild the trust. Can I just ask if any of our audience got any question? Would you like to ask something maybe from your experience, or maybe share your comments, just say something about the trust in your organization, how you see the trust in your company that you are working with? I would really love to maybe answer comments during the live or after if we don't get time, but feel free to ask any question. If it's anything that you would like to share with us, we will be more than happy to answer. Yes, Krzysztof?
Absolutely. Maybe you can share how you recognize that you can trust to somebody. How do you know? From where you know that you can trust people, somebody else? How you recognize that? This is always was fascinating me. How to recognize if I trust somebody?
Yeah, I think for me it's quite important, the first impression. So this is something, and intuition. I know that maybe it's more women thing, intuition, but I think the first impression. So that's why it's so important to just to remember about this, that you will never get chance to get second good impression. So for me, it's not that I will trust this person or not, but at least I will get some kind of picture of the person. So this is how I see that. But if it's any question, I will be, we will be more than happy to answer them. If we can go to the next one, it's how to build, Krzysztof, how to build the company trust, how to do it.
Difficult question, to be honest. I think that depending on which development stage of the company is, the different you can build trust. When you have a small company, small team, you're just starting, then it's very easy to bound team around the goal. The difference is when you have a 200, 500, 1,000 organization, how to build trust and how to maintain trust. So maybe I'll answer the first circumstance. I had the opportunity to build company from scratch, being the first employee here in Gdynia area in Poland, north of Poland. I was the first employee and I was recruiting the first team. My ambition when I was joining this company was to create the company with the local flavor, because it was part of the global organization, a company which contributes to the local environment, but in the same time leverage the global opportunities which we all have, from the experienced leaders, experienced mentors, experienced clients as well. So I actually called this as a corporate differently, this concept. And whenever we were recruiting new employees, whenever we're speaking to each other, whenever we're speaking to the clients, we always had in the back of our heads that we are local company with the local flavor, that we all in the organization has an influence on the impact of the company, but in the same time we are part of the global organization. So having the long story short, the mission, the vision is very, very important. And then the values, because you cannot put everything into the procedures. You cannot put everything into documents, in the processes. At the end, you still face difficult situations, difficult problems, and difficult decisions. And then always values comes first. It's your North Pole. So this is always what I was speaking and trying to explain to the teams and to the employees. And never compromise on the values, regardless if it's 1,000 people organization or five person team. Never compromise on the values.
No, this is really, this is a great answer. I recently read an article about it's a fast company. I think they from USA, and they did a survey. And they asked 33,000 people in 28 different countries. And to be fair with you, 1/3 of these people said that they don't trust the employers. So it's really shocking that 1/3 of people, working somewhere, they do not trust the company vision, mission, or the managers. So this is something for me. They did like a trust barometer. That shows that people, they just don't trust. And for me, would be like splitting companies in like two different factors. One, it's that you work for like low trust, and then is a high trust. So if you work in a low trust company, you should work on rebuilding this trust. And this is, what we are talking now. So basically by doing more different activities with your group. I know that now, because of COVID, it's more difficult and it's all remote, basically. But I think, it's different view from your team, perspective, from you as a manager and from the owner. So it's always different point of view, and wherever you are in which category, but any category needs believe that whatever you are doing is the right thing, and that you are trust that whatever will happen, you are going in the same direction. So for me, like I said, with the low trust companies, people just, they will leave basically, because how long you can work, Krzysztof, if you don't trust your manager, or if you don't trust the owner. So this is something that I think people may not think that it's important, but it's really important for people, especially, employees who they're working with. But, in the other hand, it's quite easy to, easy in brackets, to rebuild that and to start working on trust. Do you got any ideas or any, from your experience, Krzysztof, what you could do to build the trust in the company?
Absolutely, you can. I fully agree what you have said. From my experience, the biggest, I would say, risk of losing the trust is actually the change. So when the company is doing the transformation, restructuring, implementing completely new business models, like we see over the places around the globe in 2020, so it's very easy in this case to lose the trust, and it's actually even I would say almost certain that the trust is actually going lower. So you mentioned about the fast company and the trust barometer. There is another well-known company which is actually focusing and specializing only on the trust. It's Edelman Trust Barometer, which is actually conducting the surveys around the globe over the last 20 years. And they just published the global trust barometer for the 2020. What was shocking to me, that actually there is almost no trust globally. People do not trust governments. because of the pandemic situation.
I think it's changed now because of COVID. Yeah, is this the results? What's happened with regards to the COVID and the situation? Yeah,
exactly. What was biggest surprise for me that people do not trust overall also NGOs, so non-profit organizations, all of the foundations, supporting organizations. But there is the one thing, the one element, one area where people still trust. And this is something I think that we are in the good position at the moment during our discussion. They trust business, but not the global business, local business and the local leaders. Yeah. Exactly, this is what the point is. And the additional interesting point is people expect from local leaders to help them in the social problems and the sociological and psychological challenges. So it's not only about the business at the moment when we speak about the leaders. It's about responsibility for the life, health, and the well-being of people around us.
It's So this is something that, like I mentioned before, I think that because of COVID and what damage it caused to all like different businesses, I think that now, if manager or the owner of the company would like to raise or boost the trust within his team, regardless if they are managers, team leaders, they should be able to give like tools, remote tools. And I know that very often companies, they just forget about this and they expect that you will find out yourself how to deal with the current situation. So this could easily break the trust, because before COVID, they've been in the safe environment, nothing was wrong, and suddenly they had to stay at home without knowing how to go to the Zoom, how to use Teams and whatever else application. So I know that things like that are very important, especially when you are in such a stressful situation, because I think it was quite stressful for a person who never used, application like that, to log in, to do this, to do that, and then remember about different things around. So from me, I would add that whatever change we are doing in the company or whatever new situation it's now, we should be able to support straight away the managers, because the followers will follow them. So this is something for me important, that I will always, as a manager, if anything happen to my team, I will support them in things like that. We'll try to give the best tools available, the best training available, and just be with them, basically. So this is my way also of gaining trust and keeping on the nice level.
I think that I fully agree with you. For me, trust is actually is passion. It's actually the subject which I'm looking for the answer, how to build trust, how to recognize trust, how to rebuild the trust. And I still didn't find the answer, but I can actually share four areas where we should actually look and focus when we want to rebuild the trust, and when we actually lost the trust or decreased the trust during the change. So first is actually be careful what we are saying. Communication is key here. Use all of the sources in terms of communication. COVID and the virtual world, from my observation, what changed, that people actually went out from the official communication, like email, company email, Teams, chats. More of them shared mobile phones, speaking on WhatsApp, on the Facebook. So company lost control over this information. So use all of the tools to communicate what you are going to say, but it's not enough. Then you need to show that what you are saying, you're actually doing. So your actions should follow what you are saying. Then intimacy, what we said.
Execute whatever, basically, be consequent and execute. If you said something, just deliver it, because this is how you build your trust, basically, by your actions, not by your words. No, you can say the beautiful, the most beautiful things to your team, but if you don't gonna deliver it, they don't gonna trust in future, because this is how you will gain this. And you know what? There is few questions here, and I can see them. So if you don't mind, I will read, or maybe they're not questions or more statements, but I would like to share them. Marcin Grzelak is with us, so I will try to show this. Jeff Bezos never payouts dividend because he stay with long-term vision. He said to shareholders that it will play off in further. If we see right now on price of stock, it was worth to trust him words. Yeah, so basically, but I think that he from beginning knew what is his mission and vision, so no one was surprised that he could do something like that, and they just basically follow him. But it's very good posture for an owner of the huge business to do something like that. There is another comment from Eva that why managers should talk with people to work for them and communicate their mission, their goals, but listen as well people to work and do tasks day by day. Yes, great, Eva. This is something that communication and the mission and goals, people more likely to follow if they know what is the common goal. Very often when I do training, I can see that teams, they just don't know what is the company goal or the team goal. So it's something very, very important to share with your people, and they follow it. If you don't believe in the goal, I don't think they will follow you basically, and you won't get anything, you won't achieve anything. So this is something.
If I may add something, the one point here is, before we start to think about why people should trust us, what would be the reason why people should trust us? I think that the first question which we should ask ourselves, why we should trust ourselves. This is something very important, because if we do not trust ourselves, how come people can trust us? It might be easy question, but at the end, if we try to answer this question in the honest way, not always. I think that many of us can trust in all of the situations. And look, especially we can see if we can trust ourselves only in the difficult times. If we do what we do, if we still stay with our values, if we still know each other during the difficult times, and this is not always obvious.
Correct. So first of all, a question to yourself, guys: do you trust yourself? So this is a good one, Krzysztof, because with it's not only if you trust yourself, if you believe in yourself. So there are different, there are different factors that they will make you as a whole, as a leader, basically, or as a manager. Now it's very popular to be a leader. So this is something that will make you as being like a good leader. Basically, if you trust yourself, people will trust you too, but not only by talking and by doing, paying them. That you need to do something, you need to act, and this is when people will follow you. Can we go? I think what is the next one? We're talking about how to build the trust. Is there anything else? I know what I was going to say, that it's nothing bad to admit that you make mistake, basically, as a manager, as a leader, whatever. If you did something wrong, do not hide it, do not put under the table. I believe that people were more likely to forgive you if you will say that you did something wrong, and just easily, create like a meeting and say, guys, I did this wrong and I don't know how it happened, but it happened. I might, whatever happened in my team, Krzysztof, I always look first what I did wrong. I always ask my question to myself, asking what I did wrong, that this and this happened, where I missed the process. So even if you make mistake, just share this with people, that you are a human being, and everyone is allowed to make mistakes, and don't be afraid. And then by, maybe by doing different activities with your team. I don't know if you do things like that you, I know that now it's more difficult to do activities with your team, because it's all remote and hybrid and whatever else they called. But if the life will go back to normality, I think it's good from time to time do like like an activity with your team to build trust and to get just nice relationship in the workplace. Would you like to add anything to this?
Yes, trust is built. The strongest trust is built during the difficult situation, when the group is solving difficult and challenging problem. It's difficult to manage such a situation, but when you are able to engage the entire team, the team is actually coming after the challenging problem much stronger. It's definitely bounding the team and it's creating the trust. But then also one interesting point when it comes to the trust. The last point, because I mentioned about three points, which was actually speaking, doing, and keeping promises. But there is a last, I would say, the strongest point, orientation and focus for ourselves. The more in relationship another person is focusing on themselves, the lower the trust is. So it means that if somebody is getting from you during this partnership, during this relationship, and not giving back something to you, the lower you trust that person. That's my observation, and it's also come with the organization. If the organization is not giving anything to the employee, then how come the employee can trust, and vice versa?
Yes. There is another comment from Eva. Hi, Eva. Thank you for joining us. It is showing that we are human, not robots. Yeah, correct. So basically, don't be afraid to say that anything, something is wrong, and you can fix things as long as you say loudly that this happened, and together. I know that if you for the past, if you've been doing things correct and you've got your followers, if you did one thing wrong, they will help you basically to forget about this, and they will work together towards common goal. So this is also creating a good atmosphere. Thank you, Eva, for sharing your views. What else I would like to ask to say maybe? I recently watch, I think his name, he's a leader, he's like a leader expert, something like that. It's John Maxwell. Have you heard about this person? So I know.
Absolutely.
So he said that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So basically, this is also one of my, quotes that I believe that very often people ask me, how, Kasia, do you do this? Why people work with you? I said, because inside me, I think that no matter if they are clients or people, my employees or whoever I'm with, I treat them as a family. So I do care. So this is very, very important for me to care for people who am I working with, or so care is one of key indicator for me.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this quote. I like it very much. I also heard some time back, I don't remember the name of the person, but he said that when there is a trust, everything is possible. When there is no trust, nothing is possible. So it shows a lot that the trust is actually very important. And we're speaking maybe sometimes some obvious things that trust people create the trust. But without that, it's very difficult. I would say almost impossible to achieve the goals. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. This is great quote too. What else? I think we share, a lot about how you can build trust, and what to do with your people and how to rebuild the trust. And maybe we can go to the last one: how to measure trust. Krzysztof, is there any way to measure trust?
Good question. I was actually looking for the long time how to measure the trust. And the trust, what I found, you cannot measure directly. Maybe I do not know the solution, but you can actually measure indirectly. And I actually found the researchers from the scientists from US who actually spent their life finding the equation of the trust. It's called Trusted Advisor. Highly recommend to read the book. And they actually found these 4 elements which have impact and influence the trust. So based on those observations, they could measure the trust. It's still subjective, but it helps you at least to, to measure whether you actually trust somebody higher or lower, and what is the reason why you do not trust or trust that person. I will not share the equation. It's a book.
It's called Trusted Advisor.
Trusted Advisor. I will not share anything else. You can Google in the internet. Trusted Advisor.
Yeah, do not share. Okay, I was going just to post this.
You can post. I will not share. The book. I'm encouraging you to read the book.
Put on the comments here. What from the place I work and what tool we bought, I would like to share with you that there is a actually tool that measure not only trust, but trust is one of the values that we'll measure too. Basically, it's called intelligent question or one question test. So this is something that I work for NAO Institute, and the founder, the PhD Dariusz Tarczyński, he actually introduced this tool last year, and it's a very, very easy tool, but measure many processes within the company. So basically, it will ask just one question. You ask just one question to your employee, and you've got all different reports about the communication in the company, about processes, about who is potential leader, where is the potential, threats that some might happen. It might also give you information about mobbing, about culture differences. So it's lots of different things. It's basically works like a MRI. I know that it's like in Polish, it's like a scan. Basically, it will scan the whole organization, and then you will get a nice report, knowing step by step where are the weak parts, where are the strong parts, and what you should do to implement changes and how to deal with this. So I will encourage you to check this. Not you, but if anyone would be interesting, I can post the link to this tool. It's quite simple. It's just basically will ask you, can you say what you measure your communication with, and then you've got 1 to 5. And of course, you are only measuring this communication within people that you know. So if it's huge organization, you don't gonna say about communication person you never seen. So it's basically the circle around you, and it's really very nice results. We did this test in UNICEF. They've been really amazed, and a few other companies. Like I said, it's just been introduced last year, and because of COVID, it's slowed down. But hopefully, it will go live. And that's why, maybe someone will be interesting to view this. Krzysztof, I think we are not running out with time, but usually our life, it's like 45 minutes to do not bored people. I hope they don't bored today. It was not too many audience. I'm not sure if because we changed the time or people are doing different things in the evening, but whoever are with us, we would like to say thank you. For being with us for the whole 45 minutes. I hope you find our tips useful, and whatever Krzysztof give us from his experience. I also very would like to thank you for being my guest. Is there anything that you'd like to add in the end? Some kind of closure?
Yes, I would like to thank you, Kasia, for the opportunity, for the trust. Because we know each other from LinkedIn for some time. I like very much what you are posting on LinkedIn. So thank you very much for the trust. Thank you very much also NAO Institute for the opportunity to share my experience. Congratulations for the great tool. It seems very interesting and very exciting. Thank you very much also for you audience to be with us. Eva, Marcin, thank you very much for the comments and the questions were very interesting. So thank you very much.
I always said, Krzysztof, that after, if our audience got any question, we are more than happy to answer them on a private, because sometimes people, they don't want to share because it's too, maybe they don't want to keep this secret, not in front of everyone, so that someone will see and read them, So it's sometimes,
absolutely,
that's why we are giving you opportunity to give us some, feedback for private. We don't mind, or question with regards to trust, or maybe anything that happened within your organization that you don't know how to deal with. We're also happy to answer them. And Krzysztof, just to tell you about the tool, we are actually, if you will be interesting, we are looking for trainers like you to join us in future to do because after the test we will need people to actually do training, so you are more than welcome to join us if you would like to. After we will find out more.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I would be more than interesting to find out more about the tool. It's a young tool, as you said, but I see that it's growing pretty fast. Congratulations also for the new clients and the trust which you built with the clients. Congratulations.
Yes. So thank you everyone. Goodbye. Have a lovely evening, and see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.